I love their like grace and how their movements. That's cool. If she killed a Jedi, why wouldn't you just send people there to at least confirm it? Oh, that's creepy. That's creepy. What was the point in that scene? What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben and today I'll be reacting to the Acolyte episode 1. Now I am looking forward to this show. I know there's a bunch of controversy around it, but I want to go into it with an open mind just to see what's going on here. Because basically the idea of watching it now and like because of the chronological order thing is because I know it's set now 100 years before Phantom Menace, which means if I keep going chronologically, I'll never get to it. So figured do it now, then I can go back to all the Empire stuff and get through that and then go to whatever's beyond the Empire. So figure that'd be the best way to do it and so I can see what's going on here, then move on. Yeah, I have been looking forward to this show because I feel like if it is going into before the Phantom Menace, I think that'll be cool to see. Seeing what the Jedi were like, hopefully before they were all corrupted and awful, because I would want to see the Jedi in their prime. Yeah, I just think it'll be nice to see what the Jedi look like before the Phantom Menace, and I'm hoping that we do get to see that, seeing them in a lighter position rather than sort of I wouldn't say, and they were kind of the bad guys in the original trilogy because they were corrupted yet they didn't realise it. Of course, Sidious was always the big bad, but the Jedi didn't help themselves. They were blinded by their own corruption to not see where the dark side was hidden. Also, after seeing the trailer, I do have like questions with whatever was going on with the red lightsaber before Phantom Menace when all the Jedi thought they were extinct. So I feel like that'll be interesting to get into. And then, of course, I know that there's like meant to be a Wookiee Jedi in this, which I absolutely love the idea of one of those ever since the David Tennant droid said how interesting Gungi was. Yes, we got to see Gungi again, but I feel like it's going to be so interesting to actually see a Wookiee Jedi in their prime, to see what that kind of looks like, since they made such a big deal of it in Clone Wars. So that's something I'm very looking forward to seeing. Yeah, I just like the idea of a show set before Phantom Menace and going into more of the past, because I keep getting told about all these interesting stories in Star Wars Legends, talking about old Sith members, all this stuff, way before Phantom Menace, and I would love to get to just see what's going on there. Yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. And if you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description. Over there I'm uploading these videos and the full reaction a week in advance. If that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. With that said, let's just dive on in. 100 years before the rise of the Empire, there's a time of peace. The Order and the Galactic Republic have prospered for centuries without war. Okay, back to the text. Being in the dark corners of the galaxy, powerful few learn to use the Force in secret. One of them, a lone assassin, risks discovery to seek revenge. Other four, the Sith around is Darth Plagueis. Who, maybe Darth Plagueis and his mask, is that what they're on about? There's like the Sith and the lineage of the two or whatever, and then it becomes Palpatine and Vader.
Where's your Jedi?
I'm assuming you're the assassin it mentioned. You're dressed like one. Mask, hood, and now you're looking for a Jedi.
Master Indara.
Indara.
Yes, my child?
We have unfinished business.
So it's personal.
Attack me with all your strength.
What?
I have no quarrel with you.
Attack me.
Jedi do not attack the unarmed.
Yes, you do.
That sounded personal. Okay, oh dear. What's the Jedi doing in the pub, by the way? Why are they like here? Are they just hanging out? What is their position at this like time in the not Empire, in the Republic? I'm still in Empire mode. Tells the Empire, Bad Batch. Now we're in the Republic mode. Fight scenes look pretty good so far. Reaching for the lightsaber. I like this, just avoiding and evading, not really fighting. Oh, you are armed. You look so unfazed. Ooh, wow. So yeah, it's definitely Force-sensitive assassin. This is what they'll... Oh, there, yeah. It's a very bad person trying to hurt civilians. I love their like grace and how their movements. That's cool. Ooh, and yep, lovely, saved. Disappeared. Sense them in the Force. I do like how fluid all the movements feel. It feels like people that are whoa, getting somewhere. It does feel like people who can use the Force well. It feels, because I've been watching a lot of the animated stuff, so it's cool going back to live action, just seeing this sort of stuff. Adding a lot of battle damage to your like armor or whatever it is. You seem very afraid of them, so I'm guessing there's some like personal stuff there.
You.
Really? What? Marking on the head? Okay. So recognizing there's a personal thing going on.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to kill you.
That seemed very obvious. Oh, actually bringing out the lightsaber now.
A Jedi doesn't pull her weapon unless prepared to kill.
What? Yeah, they've done that all the time. I'm pretty sure in first... someone's gonna do something sneaky. Oh, you... Bad time to make a noise. Pretty sure Anakin used a lightsaber to break a window in Clone Wars at one point. Oh. Stabbed. Yep, died saving someone. That's lovely. Still not dead? Okay. Was dying. Took a while, okay. And you just stood there watching. Interesting that the show starts with the bad guy then. And just killing the Jedi. I'm gonna take the lightsaber? Okay. So this is where I'm confused. So it's like this, I'm guessing Sith related person? But how would that fit into... Really? Gonna kill a witness? Oh, little alien child. Oh, and there's a heart there. Okay. Cut your hair? Do you get like a heart attack from just being woken up by an alarm?
Good morning, Pip.
Fun name for a little droid.
Osha! Why didn't you come out last night? You missed a wild trip to Nar Shaddaa with the piloting crew?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. So that's your name. Okay.
No rest for the wicked.
Well, the wicked rest, they just don't brag.
Oh, Trade Federation people. Okay, so there's still Trade Federation around 100 years ago. So I don't know how different this like time period is compared to the Republic. Is it very similar? Is it better? How much are we going to see that we saw in the original, in the prequel trilogy?
Activate the shield immediately.
Yeah, mechanics are on it, Captain.
Mechanics?
Grease grubbers are disposable. Our cargo is not.
You know, we can hear you.
Okay, sassy.
It's clearly disposable, but me, on the other hand, come on.
Very funny.
Wait, so why are you guys doing this? Don't they have do you not have like astromechs yet to do that sort of stuff? So you have ships on light speed, but you don't have astromechs to fix the ship, so you have to use people to go and do it. You're even getting a droid to do the thing that you should be able to do.
And that was the pressure valve.
I got it.
What's happening? That fire's been going way too long. They're in outer space, right? Flashback, okay. The fire, I'm sorry, I'm hung up on the fire. There's no atmosphere. It's burning. I mean, there's ways to do it, but like, that's very clearly burning with an atmosphere.
Jedi?
Oh, they got different ships now, because I think Clone Wars had the weird turny ship. Oh, they look cool. White and gold, I guess.
We are looking for a former Jedi by the name of Osha Anaseya.
Osha Anaseya, so that's the name. I do like that they look lighter, so I guess this is trying to say that the Jedi are in better places. Was the other Jedi that was murdered in the same look?
The Republic has legislated that only droids may perform outer ship repair.
Oh, so you do have droids, you just use people.
23.
Thank you for your cooperation.
I'm just gonna force the information out of him.
George?
You're just sitting on her bed, that's a bit weird.
Finally passed your trials.
I made night.
Never thought I would see the day.
Okay, so on good terms with this one then, so what was up with the other one?
Just wanted to pay your old friend a visit.
Jumpy.
I think it's best you take a seat.
So how long have you been a mechanic?
Since I left the Order, so 6 years.
Okay, so you were a Jedi Padawan, you left the Order, and now you decided to become a mechanic? Really?
When did you join the Order?
When I was 8. Lord knows all of this.
A major concern about admitting you to the Order was your age.
I'm about to say, Anakin was like contested because of his age.
You lost your entire family. Your mothers, your sister, your village all died in the fire before Master Soul brought you into the Jedi.
Okay, traumatic past. That explains the fire thing, so that's just linking back to that. Mothers and sister.
Last night, a Jedi was murdered on Ueda.
Who?
Master Indara.
Okay, so no, last night was...
The suspect matched your description.
Sister, you mentioned a sister. Is it the sister? Is sister's alive? Did you get a haircut or not?
Advised the Jedi Council to discontinue your training when you were...
Leaving the Jedi was the hardest thing that I've ever done, but it was my decision.
Oh, so you didn't get kicked out, you left on your own accord. You mentioned her sister, it's gonna be a sister, right? You don't mention, you just say family died. If you want to leave it ambiguous, you don't mention you had one sibling.
That's her! She killed the Jedi and ruined my bar!
Very similar then to your sister. It's gotta be a sister.
Prison transport will take you back to Coruscant.
Okay, I'm confused, like how... Okay, so your sister must be alive. You're not that person, unless there's some weird way you are. But then why mention a dead sister? You would, in the Jedi Order, but then this other one, they had a marking. Do you have the marking on your head? Oh, Coruscant, and the temple. Okay, things don't change that much in the next 100 years then.
Think of diving into a great ocean. Give yourselves over to its weight.
Surrendering to the Force. Cool, nice seeing little lesson. I like seeing all the Jedi, it's cool. It's all just looking light.
I see fire. It grows larger. It consumes anything that tries to stop it.
That's concerning.
Like fire or the ocean. It is a power we must respect.
Okay, that still seems concerning, but you're going to ignore it. Fine.
Master Vanestra.
Vanestra.
Sol, my dear friend.
Okay, Vanestra, Sol. Okay.
I remember when you were that small. You were so shy.
How can I be of service?
Who's the actor from Squid Game? I remember, is he Squid Game?
I was sad to hear she came to a violent death.
In your Squid Game.
The suspect in custody. An old Padawan of yours. Osha Anasea.
Ah, she was your Padawan. Okay, getting interesting.
I see I have underestimated your attachment to her.
The attachment's still overdone in this era of the Jedi.
Indara and I saved her from a terrible fire. There must be some mistake.
You've already mentioned a sister. It's going to be a sister, right?
If it were to become public that a former Jedi killed one of our own.
Our political enemies could use it against us.
Okay, so no, it's not too far from the... Okay, that's kind of... So they're still caught up in the whole political world. I was hoping to be a bit more separated than that. So you have droid guards and pilots, so you still don't have astromechs to... No, they just didn't want to. So why would they want to use regular people to do it? Feels odd. What benefit do you get from having people do droid work?
Dibbat parasite used to subdue violent criminals.
That's lovely.
We're planning an escape. You win.
You got anything to lose?
You'd rather leave your fate to the Jedi.
I have faith in the Jedi.
Enjoyed prison.
Okay, so no, so people are still sort of... So even 100 years before all the corruption stuff, they're still like this. Oh, so it's... Oh, okay, so that guy can just connect with droids. That's cool. Ah, great, yeah, and he's dropped in a giant asteroid field. That's great. Oh, what the? What on... That's absolutely disgusting. It's very convenient that they have all these prisoners that are able to just override all of the droids. They're gonna escape into an asteroid field. They're gonna die. Do they actually get away? No way. Oh, the little droid. Can't reach it. Okay, this is your test. Force stuff. How easy is it for you? As easy for the other one. Okay, this is difficult for you. You're definitely not the Jedi killer. That's clearly your sister then. So what can this thing do? Oh, he just... Okay. Oh, wow, that thing is useful. What else can I do then? Escape pod? Oh, I want to save the other one. Wait, he's violent. Oh, okay. Oh, that thing flies. Leave! Oh, dear. He's gonna... That's great. Only 2 escape pods, is there no more? Can you turn the pilots back on? Why would they leave no actual human guards on this thing? Why is it only piloted by droids? There's no one on here, human, but prisoners. An ejector seat in space? Is that an ejector seat? Oh no, you're just strapping in to try and like, okay. Okay. Survivable. Okay, she's fine. So clearly attached to your young Padawan.
And both of these emotions can lead to...
Our memories are lessons. If we don't meditate on the past,
We're doomed to repeat it.
Okay, like this. So he's not on board with the whole get rid of attachment sort of thing. So he's happy with it and he's still like, okay, like you.
It wasn't our idea.
It was the Jedi killer!
Okay, so they've already been captured. That's great.
Beware.
quiet your mind and tell me what happened to the young blood.
That's nice. You could just shut them down like that.
I took the last escape pod.
It doesn't clear for Indara's murder.
Why didn't you do that before? Why'd you wait for him to get here?
I request permission to go to Acolyte.
It is highly unlikely she survived.
If she killed a Jedi, why wouldn't you just send people there to at least confirm it?
If she is guilty, it is my failure. Let me take accountability.
Small team. Be discreet.
Okay. Seems kind of odd there. So you think this girl killed a Jedi? I'm just happy to assume that she died. You're not going to send... All you send was probe droids to go and check. If you do believe that she is a Jedi killer and she managed to survive, of course you take out the probe droids. Why would you not send a bunch of Jedi there anyway to make sure she is dead? And then if she's not dead, then take her out if she is really a Jedi killer. Karlak. So this is the planet you've landed on. Very snowy and icy. Stuff here, great. Oh, that's creepy. That's creepy.
Hey!
Really? A small child come out of nowhere and you're just gonna go after them? That's smart.
Thank you for allowing me to accompany you.
It's not what I would have planned for your first mission.
I'm ready.
Why'd they change outfits? Why'd they go from white to brown? This feels much more in line with prequel color scheme. Why change?
Master Soul, I thank you for choosing me for this mission. I should have brought Osha in myself. I apologize for my error.
Yod, put your clothes on.
What was the point in that scene? Just walk in on him while he's ironing? Okay. That's kind of takes me out of whatever's happening. You're going to try and track down a Jedi killer and you just throw that in there. That's odd. Small you, sister?
Hello, Osha.
May.
May, okay, sister.
Hello, sister.
That got creepy quickly. What's happening? Okay, fire's a big thing here. So they saved you from a fire on your home that killed your sister and your mum's, but the sister survived. She taking you through, like, memories through the Force?
And below lies the sea. I give you you.
You give me me.
Okay.
You remember. May, is it really you? Yes.
Twins.
Did you kill Indara? Yes. I will kill them all.
That's lovely. So your twin sister's the bad guy who you thought was dead the entire time, but now she's... And somehow she's connecting to you through the Force. I mean, at least you didn't leave this place. I thought you might have just gotten lost outside with the whole dreaming, walking thing.
I was there when her sister started a fire that killed her entire family.
Oh, the sister did it.
I took her as my Padawan.
She had a sister.
Yes, she had a twin.
And you're gonna...
I didn't know Osha was a twin.
Gonna consider that?
Do you think that...
No, May is dead. That was her name.
So you're just going to assume that the Padawan that you have an attachment to killed Indara when there's a much more likely thing that this sister managed to survive a fire and has gone to do it. That's not what you're going to try and consider? Are you considering it? Why aren't the other two considering it? Why are you so against it?
There's no way she could have survived this.
She left? I thought, wait, why didn't... I thought she was going to greet them. She said she had faith in the Jedi. Why'd she leave?
Follow me.
Why'd you sense? Where were you running to? I can't just tell if she's being like guided by something or if she's just running to get away from them. Is she trying to go to something? Why would you lead the ship and the people that were coming? I mean, could she know who the... it's pretty easy to assume that the Jedi is going to come find you. So you have a Force connection with her and that's how you're finding her. I thought Jedi don't bring... So he's intended to kill her then. Bringing the lightsaber out isn't with intent to kill. you doing? See, like, he's using it as a torch. Why? So that means the villain is very misguided then. They're clearly wrong about why the Jedi use lightsabers, but why on earth, where on earth would they have gotten that from?
In the name of the Republic and the Jedi Order!
What?
I didn't do it!
What happened to having faith in the Jedi? This feels like it's taking a big 180. Okay. This episode's clearly setting up their relationship being one of trust and, I guess, goodness. It's just weird that Osha is sort of just going back and forth within deciding whether or not to trust them or not. Yes, I get that she had a vision from her sister that she's actually alive.
May is alive.
I believe you.
There we go, and you know that she is the bad guy killing the Jedi.
You need to come with us. Let's go.
Yeah, like, why? So you saw your sister and then you decide to run away and apparently lose all faith in the Jedi?
Stand down.
Cuffs, ready, really?
The Jedi live in a dream.
Well, I don't know.
They believe everyone shares.
Okay, so here's May.
Attack a Jedi with a weapon. You will fail.
She didn't.
Steel or laser are no threat to them.
Steel, she killed her with a knife. Dagger.
An acolyte kills the dream.
What the? Okay, this was interesting, I'll say. Endings, the writing is tricky. What was the point in, there's a lot of things I don't, it feels like there's a lot of segments here of just why have it. You had the guy ironing his stuff in, which kind of broke up what was going on. You had Osha falling from the ship and falling to the planet. Saul getting his team together to try and go find it. It was very tense. It felt tense in just the progression of the story. To interrupt it with that, it just felt awkward. The ending there, that's just very odd. Guy saying stuff, does that make her not an acolyte? May, does that mean she's not? Because what did he say? He said, if you attack a Jedi with a weapon, you will not win. That's dumb. I'm pretty sure that's been done before. Yeah, Grievous has killed Jedi with lightsabers. He's done it. If you steel and laser cannot hurt them, that's dumb. May literally did that. So, is there a point to writing it so weirdly? Is that, like, that makes me... It's meant to be the premiere of the show, and so far it hasn't grabbed me as a premiere of a show should. It feels very just... I mean, it sets up some interesting things. Plot-wise, it feels interesting. Jedi killer going around being able to do it seems odd, but the writing is very iffy there. Storyline, I feel like it could be something. Jedi killer, twins, Force, one left the Jedi as a Padawan, one was thought to be dead. The whole fire thing, that seems like an interesting motif going along there. But it just feels like the writing is just a bit odd in a lot of these places, and it feels like it's too odd in too many places. This whole episode was basically about Osha being accused and reuniting with her master. That is not something that big for a premiere, and the way they did it is not that grabby. It's the ending as well. I feel like that's meant to be the grabby moment, but why? Clearly a Sith at the end, red lightsaber, and just igniting it. Why? There's a lot of things that just feel odd. So you have the whole thing about lightsaber. So this is obviously where the May has learnt her stuff from, saying that if a Jedi draws their lightsaber, they intend to kill. Already been disproven by Fjord, who used it as a torch in a cave. The Sith is also talking about how they cannot be killed with steel or laser. Already been disproven by his own acolyte, whatever's going on there. They clearly, there's some kind of teacher-apprentice relationship. So already that just feels odd. Instead of like grabbing you with an interesting story and good writing, it makes you question a lot of what's going on. That is rubbing me the wrong way. I feel like there's a bunch of interesting things that could be doing here, but the writing isn't great there. That's not working for me. There's a lot of it could pay off. They could do something when somehow those odd lines somehow make sense. But putting it in the first episode, when you're already showing contradictions to it, don't make a lot of sense for a premiere of a show. A premiere is meant to grab you in. Think about it. Clone Wars, that opened with Battle of Christophs. It opened with a movie. Yes, the movie wasn't great, but it introduced Ahsoka. It did a lot. You got to see Anakin, Kenobi. You got to see things that drew you into the show. Bad Batch. That opened with Order 66 and the clones dealing with that. Amazing premiere. That is how you start a show, by grabbing people in and making them want to watch the rest of it. This one didn't quite do it, which is quite disappointing. The premise of it sounds very interesting. Set before Phantom Menace, in the past of the Jedi, yet it doesn't feel that different. It feels like it was set... It doesn't feel like it's set 100 years, a century before Phantom Menace. It feels like it could have been set during it or just before. It doesn't feel like a century before it. Even with the Jedi and how they act, it feels very close to it. I was hoping for a bit more difference there. Now, I feel like I'm talking about a lot of negatives here. Good things from it, I like the action. The action at the start, did like that. It felt very fluid, the motion felt great, choreography very good. Very fast paced, but again, like the steel, yes, kind of a shame that one Jedi died so quickly. Yeah, I guess that's part of the grabbiness, or what they tried to make a grabby premiere. But like, if you want to set up a plot line of someone going around killing Jedi, yeah, no, it does make sense. Would you put the first kill in the second episode or the first episode? I feel like they want to do a 2-episode premiere, then you kill the first Jedi in a second episode where you're still setting things up and allowing that Jedi to do something in the first one. Because right now, there's no connection. They're just a Jedi to me, and then, so you've killed them off. Okay. It basically holds the weight of any like random Jedi that died in Clone Wars that we didn't really care about. In fact, there's like, I remember one Jedi who I just find the name funny, Amagun-Dai or whatever his name was, who died very early in the Clone Wars. That was, almost looking back, that seems a little bit more memorable to me. There was another Jedi who, I can't remember her name now because I don't think she had a fun name like Amagun-Dai. She got killed by Savage and Maul. She got a bit more to do in Clone Wars, yet she was very much a background character. Her weight carried more death. It was her and Kenobi versus Maul and Savage. Honda was there, can't remember her name. Was she purple? She was purple or brown. Yeah, that death carried more weight to me. That felt more important. This one, not there yet. And to have it as a premiere feels odd. It feels like the structure of the episode isn't quite right. There's definitely things here that are good and have like a good base to build off of, but the structure here doesn't work. Yeah, positives, action scene, liked that a lot. Felt like that was very well done, in line with just Force stuff, just seeing their movements. Coming off of, like, I guess, animated shows where they can do that a bit more. That feels cool, seeing it done like that. Obviously, I guess maybe wire work might have been done there to try and get them moving like that, but still, I do like how that was done. Squid Game actor, I think it's the Squid Game actor. I'm hoping I'm not wrong with that. So I think it's the Squid Game actor. Liked his acting, think that sets up a good sort of relationship there with the protagonist, him being a more attached master. I do like the idea of actually getting to see that, because, of course, that's a difference that lies within the Century. So you have a Jedi Master that's actually attached to Padawans. And it's not sort of super frowned upon. That was basically a big no-no in Phantom Menace, that Republic era of stuff. This one, at least, it seems a bit better and more accepted, not just fully drowned out. Yes, they're not fully on board with it, but it's still not, they're not punishing for it. So I'm happy that we got that going on. Do like his character. Osha, the protagonist, I feel like there was a bit, acting-wise, there was a bit stale moments at the start when she was doing the mech stuff. Later on, I feel like it got better when she's doing stuff with the sister. That seems better, but again, you don't want those sort of little slip-ups at the start of a premiere. That's why I'm judging it harshly, because it's the premiere episode. This is when you're not meant to have these sort of slip-ups. There's like just choices that were made for the premiere of the episode, which really shouldn't have been made if you want to draw people in and get them to stick around for the entire show. This, if I felt like... I'm getting lost in the negatives right now. Think of the good things. Costumes. I do like the costumes. Seeing how sort of the Jedi are in their light sort of side. They feel like the Jedi Temple Guards, being the more ornate, I guess, religious sort of type Jedi. Yes, we saw them in robes before, then they got with armor. Here, I like it just seeing them in a more brighter colors, and they feel like what would be attributed to the light side of the Force. So I do like seeing that. Story as well, I do think that is interesting. Seeing that it's basically a twin storyline, which you haven't seen since Luke and Leia, but of course they didn't know they were twins for a while. So it's interesting that they're playing with like the idea of Force connection between twins, because that is something I don't think we've seen, because Luke and Leia obviously didn't know they were twins till they were adults, so there's not much they can do there. This is, they obviously know they were twins from a young age, and they're playing with Force stuff there. So obviously Force sensitive for a while, and they can communicate to each other through the Force very vividly. That, I do like the idea of that. You know, of course, one is evil, and very evil, eyes turning black, that's kind of demonic. So fully on in the dark side, being tutored by this Sith, which I'm assuming must be before Darth Plagueis. So would this be Darth Plagueis' master? And maybe, so I'm guessing, bad guy either gets killed or redeemed, I don't know. And it's got to somehow tie into Darth Plagueis, because then Darth Plagueis would go to Sidious, and Sidious was very old by the time of his thing, which I guess would line up for like the 100-year century, or maybe there's one in between. Maybe May is Plagueis' master, and then after that. It's very weird how they're doing it, I will say that. Yeah, story-wise, I think there's good building blocks. There's a good foundation for what could be built. The story seems interesting. Twins, Jedi killings, that seems fine. That seems like a good base to go off. So the fact that it's a premiere that's got me sort of harsh on it, I guess. Premieres shouldn't be littered with so many things you could pick up on. They should be grabby. They should be one of the best episodes of the show because they're meant to draw you in. They're meant to have really good moments that make you want to stick around for these characters. Right now, the character I'm drawn to the most, probably Sol. Osha seems interesting, but again, there's not much to go off. I feel like we got more from Sol, considering we get to see the attachment side, we get to see how he deals with other people, we get to see his attachment to his Padawan. Osha, we get to know that she's left the Jedi Order on her own accord, and that she's a bit too good in the sense that she helped the one guy, yet she's also dealing with the other dark side of the system. And then they did the 180 thing where she said that she had faith in the Jedi, only to turn around and try and run from them and nearly fall off the cliff when she had the vision from her sister. There's a lot to wrap my head around, and I feel it just feels messy. That's what I'll say. This episode felt messy when it really shouldn't be as a premiere. Okay, first off, I think I should talk about the controversy, because I know I'm going to have a bunch of people talking about it in the comments. From what I know, the writer is Leslie Headland. She worked for Harvey Weinstein as a personal assistant, so that's not great on her part, and if she's personal assistant, probably means she knew a lot about what was going on there. So not a great person to give a big budget show to. But then I also think that a lot of other people would have worked on the show, and so to completely hate against a show just because of one person, I feel is a little unfair on everyone else, because I feel like a lot of the actors here did kind of a good job. There was some like iffy acting in here. I think the Squid Game guy, I need to learn his name, his acting I did enjoy here, just seeing his role. But then again, Osha's acting, I feel like that was a little stiff at the start, got better towards the end. Yeah, that's basically all I know of the controversy at the minute, but I'm not going to take that into account of just looking at the show. I want to look at the show purely if it's actually good or not. And so far, it's messy, I'll say that. The bones of it feel solid, the story feels interesting and compelling, but the structure of the episode as a premiere isn't sitting with me right. It isn't grabby. It doesn't draw me in to watch the rest of the show. If I wasn't reacting to it, I probably would just stop here, because it's not something that I'm now fully invested in the story with. It's not something that makes me want to continue. I feel like they had moments where they're like, oh, this will make someone want to continue, but those did not hit right for me. I feel like at the start, that sort of fight scene should have been at the end. Having the Jedi be killed was probably the biggest moment of this episode. The ending felt weird, just seeing the Sith ignite the lightsaber. That just felt weird and odd. It felt meaningless. After you have like quite a few lines of like, oh, a Jedi will only ignite their lightsaber if they plan to take someone's life. Yet you see multiple times that doesn't happen. So to end it on that note felt odd, but it would have been better to end it with the death of a Jedi and actually have it build up to this assassin going to do these things. Maybe there's a conspiracy of someone going to kill Jedi. They look into Osha and think that she's going to do it, only for the episode to end with someone else committing the murder, exonerating Osha. Yeah, I figured to start off looking at the positives of this episode, because I think this show is very much controversial at the minute. I've had a lot of comments talking about it. Right now, I'm 50-50 on this. Story, I like the story. It feels interesting. Seeing the Jedi in the past dealing with an assassin going after Jedi. It's the only time period you could do that with, because of course Empire, no Jedi really are left, and so the only time you can have a story with someone going around killing the Jedi would be here. I'm interested to find out what reason a person has to go against the Jedi, because again, this is meant to be the era where they're meant to be at their best and their lightest, I think, and they're meant to be like the goodest force in the galaxy, and then they start getting corrupted. So I think it'll just be interesting to learn what May's motivation is for this, because she seems very confident in what she's doing. Is it the same? It's the same actress, isn't it? May, when she's acting as May, I feel like that was better in the fight scene. Then at the start, when she's like having a casual conversation as a mech tech, that felt a little stiff. At the end, when it's getting to the more interesting parts, that's when the acting gets better. So I'll say that works. I did think that it felt like there were two different characters. So I do like I think she acted well there. Yeah, I do like the mystery as well that's surrounding the story. How you have this twin sister that survived a fire that apparently she started, which killed her village and the mothers. So you have that going on. Yet she somehow managed to learn how to wield the Force and actually take out a Jedi and actually manipulate them. And it's cool that the one Jedi actually figured out that she had a master and someone was teaching her because she asked who taught her this. So it's cool that they can already sort of dissect what's going on inside this person's mind and actually get some information from her just in a fight. So I do like that. Yeah, I think lore-wise it's going to be interesting to see how they manage to get it to line up with canon, if that makes sense. Because you have the Force wielders that are currently in this time period. You have the Jedi, you have Plagueis and that line of Sith that are just somewhere from the Sith dynasty or whatever the planet was, and they killed all each other. Then it went to the rule of two, ending up with Plagueis, Palpatine, Vader. No, Plagueis, Palpatine, Dooku, Maul, Vader, all of that lot. Then it ended. Now, you also had the Night Sisters that are around. They were dark side Force wielders. So, makes sense that there's like other things in the galaxy that might use the Force. Like, red lightsaber, but using a lightsaber, it's clearly Sith. So, it does make me wonder how they're going to tie that back in. So right now, that's kind of the thing that's drawing me through the show. I don't know how they're going to get the canon working and how they're going to match up lore. That's what I'm interested in at the minute. Yeah, if you've been watching my reactions for a long time, I'm very into lore and just seeing how world building and all this stuff works. I love Star Wars because it's just so big and there's so much history and so much detail in basically every single aspect of this galaxy. So that's something I absolutely love going into this. Now I'm very interested to see how something that kind of appears to contradict. I said in the trailer that it seems to break canon. It appears to contradict stuff, so I'm interested to see how it'll be resolved. Yeah, I think they did a good job showing off like the Jedi setting, I guess, showing them as like a good force in the galaxy with a bit of corruption seeping in. You have Saul, who seems like a very Qui-Gon-esque character. He had the attachment. Yeah, so far he seems good. I use Qui-Gon as like an example of a good Jedi a lot now, I'm realising, after doing Tales of the Empire. Yeah, he gives me that kind of vibe, that he is that kind of soft, kind Jedi that is fully on the light side, that he is that kind of good person. So I do like that they've shown off that. Then you also have the sort of cracks in there with Fjord, who I feel like he's what the Jedi become. He's very much, I would say, corrupt a little bit. Is the scene on the start with the Trade Federation. He was basically threatening them with the Force to get them to reveal where Osha was. That felt a little bit abusive of power when they didn't really do much resistance. They basically asked, told a lie, then he was just straight to using the Force against them. That was a bit much. So that's clearly setting up what the Jedi become. So I do like how they're showing that off. I also do think the fight scene at the start was very good. I think that felt very fluid and just flowy in how a Force user would fight. We've seen a lot of it in Clone Wars and the original trilogy. We've seen a lot of it in Clone Wars, original trilogy, and prequel trilogy, where they're all jumping around and moving like this. This one felt different in the way that they felt like they were gliding and they felt like they were moving through something rather than jumping around like we've seen before, which I do like the difference. I do like that they've given them their own little style of fighting here, where they're more using the Force to advance more movements rather than jumping. Because I think in the Clone Wars and the trilogy movies, they're very much lightsaber focused. When they use the Force, it was to push back or to jump. This felt like it was more getting around the field without jumping, but also they used it more in their movements as well. Okay, so the negatives. I feel like the acting in this definitely was much to be desired from a Star Wars level production. It's like, I feel Osha, her actress hit or miss. I think she had some great moments, definitely at the start as May, and then at the end when she's talking to May, because that's the same actress. It's got to be the same actress. So it's the same actress playing both twins, unless there's like a twin. No, it's got to be twin. It's the same actress. So someone correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think it's the same actress playing both characters. So I liked her at the start, and then her at the end when she's talking to her sister. That was good. But then it's sort of at the start where she's being introduced, or Osha's being introduced as the mechanic. That felt stiff when she was talking to her colleague. And then I guess at the end it was, I wouldn't say the end acting was bad, I would just say the storyline at the end was a little off when she did the 180 and decided not to trust the Jedi after the vision. And yeah, that was just weird. The antagonist at the moment, they seem I guess, interesting, but not enough interesting to make me want to find out more about them. I mainly just want to get through this show to see how it connects with the original trilogy. That's basically my motivation for watching this at the minute. I was hoping the premiere would add something to that. It really didn't. The antagonist, it seems very misguided. They don't seem like someone we can either root for as a villain or feel sorry for at the minute. They are just a villain who's convicted by false teaching. They have been told Jedi will only ignite their lightsabers if they intend to kill. They have been told that Jedi live in a dream and that they cannot be killed by a weapon, no, not steel or laser, yet we know that is completely false. So it doesn't seem like it's a great teacher, or the teacher is using them and teaching them wrong things to do something against them. It's just very messy. There's not a clear picture of what is meant to be happening here with the villains, with the antagonists. Just that they are an assassin going to kill Jedi. That is it, and it feels very face value for the first episode. I can get behind it if it's like a filler or just in the middle of the show to kill time, but as the first episode where you want to kick off the story, this is not the place for it. But then I think that does say something bigger again, I guess, with the writing and the structure of this episode. That it's just a mess. The kill of the Jedi should have been at the end to basically be the big moment where you're like, oh no, they actually did it. I'd have had this episode basically start off with a conspiracy saying that someone is trying to kill Jedi. That no one's been dead yet, but there's something going on. Something's not right within the Jedi Order and it needs to be looked into. Have clues lead to Osha and actually think, oh no, could it be her? Makes sense. She's a disgraced Padawan. She left the Order. We can't quite trust her. She has the training. Oh no. And have hints planted that she comes from a broken family where her family is all dead. That sort of thing, so add tragic and motive to it. And then end with the Jedi confronting her, but having a Jedi killed somewhere else. That I feel would have been more gripping than having the biggest thing of this episode be at the very beginning. And then going through the episode, having just weird jumps between scenes. So you have the quite intense scene with Osha crashing in the ship to the shirtless scene with, I can't even remember his name already. That Jedi where they're like recruiting, and that feels odd where, yeah, I have qualms with that scene where they're basically telling Sol not to go. That felt odd. You have a Jedi killer who you think is killing Jedi, very dangerous person who actually managed to do it, and you're not going to confirm if they're dead. You're just going to send droids out. You don't think it's worth sending Jedi to go, even though this person's you consider to be very dangerous. That feels odd, and that's just the writing. Structurally, could be fine placing something like that there. But writing-wise, not great. Then going that to a weird, awkward scene where you just walk in on someone ironing their clothes. Awkward. Then going off to, the weird dark scenes with Osha's vision, which that, I guess, adds a little fear to her character, or, I guess, a revelation that her sister's actually alive and that she's thought that she was dead this entire time. Oh no, it turns out she's actually alive, but she's killing people. And that's a bad thing. But then you have her leave the ship when she knows the Jedi are coming, and that contradicts the thing where she said that she had faith in them. I get that, of course, her mind could be changed from the vision, but the vision didn't really make her it didn't scream that she needs to start distrusting the Jedi. It just screamed that her sister's the one doing it. It gave her a new sort of person to blame, I guess. Why couldn't she go to the Jedi and just say, oh, my sister did it? They wouldn't try. You've been with the Jedi. You should know they're not going to kill you straight away. It just feels like it's messy. That's the word. There's so many little mistakes and direction issues here. Why is the story going in this way when it should have gone in that way? Why on earth did she decide to run from the crashed ship after she got the truth that it's her sister that's alive and doing this? Why run from the Jedi, who you have history with, and say, oh, my sister's alive, she's the one doing it? At least that gives them another culprit and another lead to follow, rather than going to a cliff and sort of... is it trying to kill herself? It seems like she got scared, ran into a corner and nearly fell off it, but then immediately afterwards she just walks off fine and not scared and just walks off all confident. The emotion there, it doesn't feel well directed. It's like she starts off scared for her life, thinking the Jedi are going to come to kill her, after having faith in her, after having faith in them, after learning that her sister's actually the real one to do it, then to walk away from it very calm and just fine. That felt so odd. Then to end this episode, I think is the worst sort of option they could have done. Having the, Sith there to just ignite the lightsaber. I mean, after a lot of talk about why lightsabers are ignited and then having references of when they're lighted up, to end it with the red lightsaber being ignited. For what reason? You're talking to this other character that's walking into the scene, you're standing very far away, and then you just ignite the lightsaber. What purpose did that serve? It's making each lightsaber in this episode feel less meaningful. The first one felt meaningful because it came from self-defense. Second one felt less meaningful because they used it to light up a cave. Last one was less meaningful because you just lit it up for no reason. Yet at the start of this episode, you start with the line saying that the lightsaber will only be ignited by a Jedi if they intend to kill. It completely undermines the writing. The writing undermines itself. Yeah, the premiere as a whole is much to be desired from a big franchise like Star Wars. After seeing Bad Batch, Clone Wars, all of them, Bad Batch significant better premiere than this. Clone Wars, I think a lot of people can agree. Premiere for that Clone Wars movie wasn't that great. It was kind of slow, but it still did better than this. It got you it drew you in. Ahsoka, Anakin, Kenobi, Asajj Ventress stuff. That is what drew you in. This one did not do it, and I think it's down to the structure and writing here. Acting might not be that great, but again, that can be sorted with better writing and direction. It's not always on the actor's fault. This, I think, the faults here were from the writing. It's quite a shame, because I think the story, there's something to be done here, but the writing is just not there. I'm hoping it does improve, though, because it feels like there is interesting stuff to go from. I feel like something could come from this. The fighting scene was good at the start. I felt like the story's good. Just trying to get there, I feel like, is going to be difficult if the writing is like this and the structure of the episode is like this. I'm hoping that I'm wrong, and I'm hoping that this series does fix itself and it's just a rocky start, because I am going to keep watching it because I want to know how sort of the red lightsaber ties into everything. But yeah, I feel like there definitely are ways to fix what is happening now. Go after the sister, try and find out what's going on there. Don't waste time now, and sort of go more into what's ever happening with the twins and the Force stuff. Get into what's going on with all of that. Yeah, with that said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments. I'd love to know if you liked it, if you didn't. Tell me what you did like, if I'd missed anything that would change my mind about something. I'd love to know what your guys' impressions from this premiere is, because yeah, I'm definitely going to keep watching just to see how lore connects, but I'm hoping that the show does improve along the way. That is something I can start rooting for, because just right now, it doesn't feel like there is something there, and I'm hoping it does get better. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought, and I will see you in the next episode, in episode 2. See ya!